Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun,
All right, we'll ask you this. Do you think what do you make of this whole delisting of the Yola Gen 3s?
Um, I mean, was there like a clear? So let's just read this statement, okay? As pickleball's governing body in the United States, USA Pickleball takes its certification rules and regulations seriously to ensure integrity and fairness of all players. On May 14th and 15th, Yola informed USA Pickleball that Yola submitted the wrong paddles for certification in November 2023. So there we are seeing that excuse again, right? It was the wrong paddles. This in a different context, but still the same thing, right? As a result, USA Pickleball promptly delisted the affected paddles from its approved paddle list. Paddles that do not appear on USA Pickleball's approved paddle list are not certified for use in USA Pickleball sanctioned tournaments. So we don't have context on what about the paddles were illegal or flagged, right? Without that, it's tough to have any sort of take on it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be really curious to know, okay, how was this uncovered, right? Did Yola just come forward and say, "Hey, we submitted the wrong thing"? Like, no, there had to have been some sort of, we know that there was some pressure behind the scenes before that. Like, I think USAP must have gone to them and said, "We're making this illegal or something or another. Like, it's on you. What do you want to do?"
Yeah,
I
wait.
don't.
So the way it's written, it sounds like Yola like told on themselves, like, "Hey, we
Right.
messed up,"
I can't imagine that's the case with the amount of those paddles that they sold. There's not a chance.
and USA Pickleball was like, "All right, delisted."
Yeah, that's not making. There's more to that.
Right.
With certainty, I don't know what it is. There's a lot more to that.
So Yola says on May 16th, whoever put together this list, it says Yola's May 16th statement, and then the statement's dated May 15th. So May 15th, Yola was informed by USA Pickleball of their decision to remove the Gen 3 paddles from the approved paddle list. After a review of USAP's preliminary findings last week, we believe USAP's decision to remove Gen 3 paddles from the approved list was based on an administrative error by Yola in November 2023 as part of USAP's similarity testing protocols. Yola was only able to confirm the precise issue last week and responded immediately to quickly resolve the matter. The Yola Gen 3 paddles on the market are materially the same as the models approved by USAP in September 2023 paddle submission process, and we are confident that they are fully compliant with USAP standards. USAP has not provided a timeline of when the process will be completed. However, we are committed to working with USAP to resolve this matter as quickly as possible. We will continue to inform you as new information becomes available and regret any inconvenience. According to some, this is not in a statement, by we are committed to working with USAP to resolve this matter as quickly as possible, they mean we're going to sue the shit out of USA Pickleball.
Yeah, one can read between the lines.
Yeah. So apparently there's a nice little lawsuit going on. I assume they'll come to some sort of understanding there. But
yeah, I mean, and also like I understand it from. Let's be clear. I'm not a fan of these Yola Gen 3s. However, like, what did Yola do wrong? I mean, I don't really believe this admin error and wrong submission stuff. Like, I don't believe that for a second. But Yola is pushing the boundaries, and they got a paddle approved. And then they're told that it's, well, I guess I'm not believing
it is weird, right? Because so the paddles pass and they're approved. Then Yola says we made an error, and then they're delisted.
Right. But if there's a lawsuit behind the scenes and Yola is saying that we made an error, they just admitted that they were the ones that was wrong. They should have said, no, this is exactly what happened. This is exactly what we're submitting. And
well, except for the fact that they initially were approved and they passed the testing, right? There's no indication of whether USA Pickleball did like some other test and then flagged them.
Similarity testing is supposed to be, as I understand it, so like we submit a paddle for approval and then we make some minor decoration changes, right? So Yola, what they've been doing over the last couple of years is they submit those paddles that are like pretty much those gray looking paddles
Yeah,
that
like the
players
base model.
have been using at the beginning of the year, and then over the next couple of months they actually like work out the like logos and all that stuff. And I think those go approved via similarity testing.
Yeah.
So the administrative error could be we actually sent something to similarity testing, even though the actual construction of the paddle might have been different. Maybe that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know, but USA Pickleball makes this announcement in the wake of everybody complaining about these Gen 3 paddles and how insane they are. Like, it seems to me like there was just mounting pressure and they felt like they had to act.
Yeah. Also, like, how is Gearbox like still just chilling, right? How's nobody calling their paddle out? Like, was there anything about that over the last couple weeks?
No.
That paddle is poppier than the Yola one.
Yeah.
It was the original Gen 3. So I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot more to come out with this entire thing.
I also think there's quite a predicament for USA Pickleball given the announcement of the UPAA as this new governing body. Now, USA Pickleball doesn't want to be in the wrong with any of like the major players in the space. Yola's a huge manufacturer, right? Like, if they don't play nice with Yola and UPAA does, and then Yola says we're going to respect UPAA and not USA, right? Like, there's this, they're jockeying for position right now. So it's just a very sensitive situation. And I think USA Pickleball is like panicking, right? I mean, they have to be, for the first time ever, they have true competition.
Yeah, but at the same time, they should be panicking about what that paddle would be doing in amateur game, right? Like, they're panicking on both fronts. Like, on one side, like, you have the potential to be like actually having certified an unsafe paddle. On the other end, you certified it, and then you're uncertifying it because of this administrative error that I don't believe. There's going to be so much more information to come out on this. I think we're just scratching the surface. We'll need to do some investigative journalisming.
Yeah, we'll be sure to do that.
And by we, I mean you.
My question is like, so a year from now, are we going to have paddles that say USAP and UPAA approved? Like,
that's a great question.
For the amateur game, what's going to be the adopted policy? Which stamp of approval is going to matter more? I think that's what USA Pickleball has to worry about.
It'll probably end up being like softball, right? Doesn't amateur softball, you have different you have different bats for different leagues and whatnot. Like, I think it's probably just going to depend where you're playing. USA Pickleball tournament, you've got to have that USA Pickleball approval. PPA, UPA, you've got its own thing.
Yeah, I bet most like amateur tour organizers and tournament organizers are just going to say, if you have one, it's fine, right? You just got to have one of them.
I would guess so. Yikes. So me, Tim Parks, and Anna were texting about the rule change, because now you have to win on your serve again in Major League Pickleball. And Anna, I give this like thoughtful reason why I think this is good for Major League Pickleball, even though it might not be good for the players. And then Anna just says, maybe now you can win a match, Zane. I was like, okay, shots fired. So I said, we're 3-0. There's no I in team, baby girl. I just felt like tossing that in.
Mm-hmm.
She says, Zane, are you ready to go from 40th to 48th place after DC? And I said, I'm too busy blocking out the haters. You know that meme?
Yes.
That's a legendary meme.
I think that's a Vine originally.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a Vine for sure.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Frank tweeted that, though.
Oh, legend. Yes, thank you, Frank. I love this guy.
Anna says, love chirping Zane. It's too easy.
All I know is Anna has not won a tournament that Sarah Ansbury's been at.
Wow.
Yep. Sarah Ansbury is Anna Bright's kryptonite. Even just Sarah's presence at a pickleball tournament leads to Anna not winning it.
This episode is also brought to you by Pickleball Match Tracker, which is just a great gift for pickleball junkies, but especially for pickleball dads for Father's Day. The Pickleball Match Tracker is brought to you by Adams Media and Trey Sizemore, who's the founder of pickleballhut.com. And it includes like the history of the game, glossary of pickleball slang and terms. It's got sections to record scores, rate skills, capture intricacies of match day like wind, weather, challenging plays, and match highlights. And it's just a great gift for the pickleball junkie in your life, so check them out. It's the Pickleball Match Tracker. You can look at the link in the description or on the screen here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun on Yagi.